Hey yo, welcome to the wonderful world of Hungry Heath. I am not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD, YouTube University, and a black belt in Google Food. I love to cook. The only thing I love more than cooking is my wife, the sensational Shelly Eats Steak. Together we host what we like to call the Friday Night Feast. Now this happens every Friday night, 6:30 Central. We'll cook an entree, maybe a couple little snacks. We'll show you all how we do it, and then we'll just spend the rest of the evening chewing the fat with all of our friends in the Hungry Horde. We hope you can tune in sometime. We'd love to have you over for dinner. Today's video, obviously you can tell we're back in the car. We're out running errands on a Saturday morning. We just finished up at the vet with our new pup. He's in the seat behind me sleeping already.
Sure, the vaccine probably made him sleepy.
Right, he had to give blood too, right?
Yeah, so nothing bad, y'all. It's just his routine vaccinations, and then also had to get him, the heartworm test, and so did all of that today. And I didn't know if you pay with even a debit card or credit card, they charge like 3%.
Oh.
So that was an extra $5.
So next time we go to the bank first, pull out the cash, and then, okay.
Yeah.
We just plan to leave a little early and go to the bank first.
Right.
Because y'all, we rarely carry any cash.
No. Does anybody always carry cash with them? Comment if you're a cash carrier, but I'm just not used to that. Did I miss my exit?
I think so. We want 99.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Bye.
That's fine. We'll just take the next one, double back to it. We got all sidetracked. This gives us more time to talk to our people.
Right.
So
But,
yeah, we had to go up near the Woodlands to go to this vet.
Yeah, so where I adopted him, the animal shelter, they have a low-cost clinic, and so I got all of his routine vax plus the heartworm test for $45.
Plus 3%.
Right. Which, is really good. And then I got 6 months of the flea and heartworm medicine for $105. So $155 today with the fee or whatever. So I think overall that's pretty good.
They're still cheaper than going to the standard vet, right?
Oh yeah, much, much cheaper, because each shot is usually like $20 for a vaccine. So I might have to, other than the Pro Heart, because I really like the Pro Heart, other than that, I might have to be taking Delilah here, because, $45 a year. And, like, my vet's like, oh, you got to get the exam, which is like, they charge $80 for exam, and I'm like, do they really have to be examined every year? Of course, Delilah is getting older, so I guess that's good, but still, ugh.
Sounds like a cash grab to me.
So he did really well, y'all. So, of course, with it being a low-cost clinic, they basically work with volunteers and, people who are in vet school.
Basically like interns, kind of like?
Yeah, which, of course, they're going to have to do that.
They got to learn sometime.
Right. And, I can't see.
Go.
No,
Oh, they're all turning.
No,
he's
that
not.
one's
Never
not.
mind. Dang it.
Now move your head. Okay, now I can
Really
go.
bad spot, y'all.
Anywho, so, I had to, help the lady because, Sam, he weighs 54.7 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I know. I think he's actually lost some weight since I adopted him. But I
He's
guess
better, and it's not all that kibble.
right. It doesn't have all that, unnecessary water weight. But
proper canine diet.
there you go.
I started to say proper human.
Well, humans could eat it, I guess.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
so I don't know. Of course, I don't think he looks too skinny to me.
Not at all.
But he's definitely not overweight at all.
Muscular.
Right. He's just so full of energy But he did really well, so I had to help the lady. So I had to like hold him, and while she gave him the vaccines, and then she had to draw a little blood for the heartworm test, and of course that was negative. So he's good to go. So that's great. It got his rabies, so it included the rabies, the Stella. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Something else. Like it's like I think 4 different vaccines.
If only you had some paperwork.
I'm driving.
I know.
Yeah, it's all in the paperwork, so I've got that. But and then I set the reminder so I'll remember next year. Because
Right?
I'm like horrible at remembering those types of things.
You do have the option on your phone, so why not use it?
Right.
Because actually, I use that for the filter on our AC unit. I have one set every month to make sure I'd swap it.
Right. Okay. Well, enough about our dog. This is the MS journey. It's supposed to be about you and your MS. So how are you doing?
I still have that. So
You still have it.
everything's going good. I'm eating well. I've told y'all several months back that I'm doing so well. In fact, in my last check-in, and it was actually was on Shonda's birthday. Actually, was when I had to go. When was that?
Oh yeah, in August.
August, yeah. And he told me I'm doing so well. He's so impressed with my progress and my diet and everything too. He said that he didn't need to see me for another year. So I need to search down my paperwork and find out the actual date on that, so I can put it on my calendar.
I thought you did.
I thought so, but I don't remember. Obviously, I can't look right now. We're using my phone.
Well, how you been doing with like your DDPY and all
Still
that?
loving it. Blasting that out every day. Every day is scheduled. I'm not doing any extra, obviously. And then of course, my food's been great.
Yeah.
And
Feeling good.
Yeah. Then
That Mexican pizza we had last night was really good, y'all.
yes.
I was really impressed with it.
And then I have a ton of leftovers I'll be eating the rest of the week. In fact, today I'm going to use some of it just making tacos.
Yeah, because we do. We're good in the food department.
Yeah. We've been shopping from the freezer.
Yeah.
Except for right now, we're headed to HEB because we got to get a couple of little things. We want to make another batch of, I can't even remember the full name. It's so lengthy.
Air frying Auntie's Tender Texas 5-Spice.
Yes, we need to make another batch of that.
Our mild 5-spice.
So we're going in. Since we have Samson with us, I'm just going to pull it and drop me off. And I'll run in and go pick up a few items. And then I see that they got the Lily's bars on sale. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. I think it was buy 2, get 1 free.
Yeah, so it'd be like 3 for $8.
That's not bad. And then, cause a lot of times at Sprouts, they'll run a buy 1, get 1 free.
Yeah,
that's a lot better deal, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then, I think that was about it. There's a couple other things we put on the list. I don't remember what it was.
Oh,
but
excuse me, you guys.
we're just going to run in and do that. And then we're back to the house and back to business as normal.
Yeah.
I usually go to the next exit and turn in.
Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
then. All right.
Who's driving today?
Not me, obviously.
Obviously.
But, yeah, this is fun, y'all.
Always entertaining.
Yeah, so this is going to be short and sweet pretty much because we're pulling into the HEB. She's going to drop me off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I hop out, then we'll just show y'all what I ate this week. And then we'll run back to the outro.
Yeah.
We'll chat with y'all for a little bit on the way home.
So let's cut to your food.
For dinner this week, we're having a leftover overnight brisket, pork belly, burnt ends, stuffed mushrooms, and cheese stuffed jalapenos, along with a new tomato salad Shelly started making. Tuesday night dinner is even more leftovers from that last cook of that overnight brisket and the pork belly burnt ends. Wednesday night dinner, I got that leftover overnight brisket, some cream cheese stuffed jalapenos, and mushrooms. But y'all, the best part, we got some of that homemade chimichurri or salsa verde on top of the brisket. Y'all stay tuned. We'll have a video for that recipe coming out soon. Thursday night dinner, having the rest of that overnight brisket. And I think we finished up the pork belly burn-ins. And then I got some of that tomato salad, some coleslaw, cheese stuffed mushrooms, and jalapenos. Friday lunch, and I'm having a pizza burger. I just took one of those leftover patties I had, topped it with some Rayo's marinara sauce, and topped that mozzarella and some pepperonis. And then I got a link of beef, jalapeno cheddar sausage, and sauteed mushrooms and onions. Alrighty folks, we just left the Heb and we're heading to Dutch Bros because I can get my double rainbow.
Bro.
So.
And we get him a pup cup.
Oh yeah,
I think he deserves one, don't y'all?
Yeah, he's passed out on the floorboard now. He was up on the seat, now he's on the floorboard.
Yeah, he keeps going back and forth. While I was waiting on you, while you were in the Heb, he was just curled up with the floorboard. I'm like, why do you curl up so small?
Right? Looks almost like you'd ever seen one of those armadillos on the road. It's all rolled up. It kind of looks like that. The way he rolls up, you know? It's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it's so tiny when he does that.
Yeah. It's like his favorite thing to do on the couch, too. He gets over in the far corner and curls up in a little ball.
That was what was cute, too, when Renee was visiting. She would sit there on the couch, and he would, like, get between her and I, and then, like, look at me pouting, like, she's in my spot. That's
right?
my spot. And then he'd look back at her, and then he'd look at me, and he's like, aren't you gonna make her move? Like, that's where I sit. He, like, could not get over that. He was just like,
how rude.
That's mine.
Wow.
Because when Delilah will lay there, sometimes she'll beat him to the couch, and she'll lay there.
And then he gets mad. He'll start pacing in front of it.
Yeah. And then he'll halfway lay on me, of course, and then basically pushes himself there and flops on part of her, like he knows, okay, if I just lay on her, she'll eventually get too hot and have to move.
And then I get my spot back.
Yes. And then eventually she does. She just like looks at him like, dude, you're like halfway on me, like get up. And then he like gets up, or she gets up, and she's like done, and she goes to the foot of that lounge, and then he's all like, oh good.
Or she'll go to our bedroom.
Right? Like she's like, I'm just done with y'all. So
You've
funny.
replaced me with another dog.
I know. And then last night, Delilah, so in our bedroom, they each have their own bed, and they usually lay in it, but for whatever reason, last night, Delilah, at one point, just got up, and she was like, this is too much. And she went to the bathroom. In our bathroom, the door doesn't, like, stay open, and plus, we always shut it anyways. So she pushed her way into there, but as soon as she goes in, then the door shuts, so she can't get back out. And she just goes in there and lays on the bath mat. And it's just like, look, I don't want to be with any of y'all. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess if you don't want to sleep in your bed.
So weird how she does that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, done.
Because a lot of times, too, in the evenings, she'll get up off the couch. She'll just randomly, we'll be sitting there watching TV or whatever, and she'll just get up, walk into the hallway, look back at us, stand there for a second staring at us, and then she'll finally walk off to the bedroom.
Yeah.
It's almost like, are y'all coming?
Right. She's like, it's bedtime.
She's such an old lady.
She's so cute. But anyhow, so we went to the Heb and got the stuff.
And then our original plans, I was gonna have tacos. You know, we got a lot of meat left over from last night. I was gonna have tacos for my lunch, but then I saw we had to buy some poblanos anyways. I saw a couple that were huge, so I went and grabbed them. And I'm gonna, instead of tacos, I'm gonna do stuffed poblanos. I think that'll be really good.
That does sound good. All right. Well, I mean, you saw our food for the week. Now, I know Renee was in a couple of them, right?
I think so.
Did she have her finger in it? Apparently, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shauna.
At least she didn't tell me I was number one.
And then, I guess, is anything else going on?
I think actually the ones with her in it was last week's. With the ghost hunt and all that in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But I thought your dinners or your meals for Sunday and Monday.
Yeah. Possibly.
Anyhow, I forgot. I was going to talk about my coach.
Oh, yeah.
So down below, I have a link to my coach's site. So if you're someone who you just feel like you would benefit from having a coach, I feel like the screen's moved. But anyways, if you feel like you would benefit from having a coach, my coach, Samantha Souza, now she's been a coach for over 10 years, right? And she's been keto for like 11 years. Yeah, there we go. So she's been in this for a long time, right? I've been very pleased with her as a coach of mine. Now, I did do the full Diet Destroyer. That's what she calls it. You go to her website and actually watch like her intro video where she explains all about Diet Destroyers. And, you know, basically that's what it is. It's like, you know, hey, stop the diet mentality. And so she, with Diet Destroyers, her whole goal is that you create something that is maintenance. So you figure out for yourself how to do your own macros, how to basically transition eventually. Like she does her in sections where you start off with, you know, why you need to do basically keto, how it works and so forth. And then she explains how to calculate your macros, like a really good explanation on how to do it and walks you all the way through it. And then finally, she'll go over like how you do a cut and how you do a reverse. And then after that, the last lesson is how to do maintenance, you know, because some people, it's like, I've been dieting for so long, how do I not diet per se? You know, how do I transition from tracking all the time on keto to not tracking and still maintain where I'm at? So she's really good at explaining how to do that maintenance. And actually, even though I still have a lot of weight to lose, that, you know, in the year and a half I've had her, a couple times I have just gone into maintenance mode. You know, again, it's just looking at where you're at in your journey. And that's why I like having her as a coach, because it's really nice having that connection with someone that is knowledgeable in a lot of things that, like, I view certain ways and she'll see in another way. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of it that way. So she's really good about doing that. And just having somebody to talk to. In the live last night, I said it's kind of like having a therapist, because, you know, keto isn't just about what you eat and how you eat. A lot of it is the mental aspect, and that can be such a struggle, is, you know, knowing how to get yourself in the right mindset and changing that mindset. And if you followed me for any length of time, I've been in the mindset for a long time. Oh, protein first, because you hear that all the time now on keto. Protein, protein, protein. That's the only thing that matters. Get your protein. You got to get your protein. You got to eat X amount of protein. You got to do that. And, you know, we've been doing keto long enough. I've seen the swing, right? But when I went full-fledged carnivore like 2 years ago, maybe more than that, 2.5. Anyway, it all runs together, y'all. I gained weight, and I gave it, like they always say, oh, you got to give it 6 months. You're going to gain weight at the beginning, but you got to give it 6 months. I gave it a year. and I gained 30 pounds, which, I mean, to me, that's a lot in a year.
It was actually pretty devastating for you.
Yeah, it was very devastating because I had lost all this weight, and then to gain back 30 pounds when I'm still pretty overweight. And I was doing what they said, you know, all the carnivore gurus, all the ones that have been carnivore for over a decade, I did what they said. You know, I was eating lots of fatty meat. Like, I mostly eat ribeye, and I was eating like they said, eat until you're full. I did that. But here's the thing with me, and my coach even, she said she's the same way. And remember, she's been keto for over a decade. Protein is not satiating, and I could definitely, and here's controversial, I could definitely overeat protein.
Mm-hmm.
I can eat so much protein and be like, oh, okay, it's nothing for me to put away a 20-ounce ribeye. Like, I could do that, plus have my, like, side of pork belly, mm-hmm. and different things like that. Like, I was doing that on the regular on carnivore, because what did they say? Eat until you're full. Eat all you want. Eat 2 to 3 pounds of meat a day. I was doing all of that. And I also,
religiously.
Yeah, and I also had, like, gastro issues. Like, I just wasn't going. They were like, oh, if you're having that, it means you're not getting enough fat. So I'd be adding in fat. And I'm like, well, I'm eating fatty meat, and I'm adding in the fat, and it's still having issues. And then my hormones got all out of whack and everything. So when I first went to her, I was still like, no, I got to have all this protein. Like, I need, 150 grams of protein a day. Oh, I have to get at least 100 grams of protein.
And she had to almost unteach that.
Right, because I was still ingrained with that. And so slowly over time, like she showed me at the very beginning when I went just basic keto, like traditional keto, high fat, like 80% fat and all that, I had success right away. And then I still kind of pushed back on that. No, I got to be high protein. Like, I don't like this moderate protein level. I need it to be high. Let's try 1-to-1. Guess what? Scale went right back up as soon as I did that. And so then we learned, over time, what we've learned is, you know what? For me, the fat is where it's at. So I have to have high fat and moderate protein. So it has to be a lot more fat than I am getting protein. So, yeah, I am eating lower protein now, but I feel amazing. My hormones are, like, stellar now. No bathroom issues anymore. And it's like, okay, I realized for me, fat is where it's at. And so now I'm in the mentality of fat first. And putting the fat first on everything. So the scale last week was really off because, with Halloween and Renee here, I know I ate a lot more protein. And I know...
Especially going to the Brazilian joint.
Right, the Brazilian. And I know I wasn't getting 90% fat those days. So guess what? My weight just stayed, like, the same. Which is good considering when I went on the fat fast, I ended up losing, like, a total of 12 pounds. And then the next week, reversing out of that, it was then back to just a 10-pound loss. So the fact that I'm still maintaining that 10-pound loss 2 weeks after the fast, I think that's a really good sign. But again, I'm keeping my fat at 90%, and so that's what I'm focusing on. So, with that said, oh goodness, that's what that guy did. Anyhow, so with that said, I'm like,
again.
Oh.
Sorry,
really,
y'all. It's just a little thing that's suction cupped to the windshield.
So with that said, right? Long story short, so I've had my coach again. It's just really good to have somebody that what I like about her versus like other coaches, because I looked at several different coaches, right? Because you hear like everybody and his brother's coach nowadays.
Yeah, right.
But what I liked about her is she's flexible. She is not in this, it's my way or the highway. She's very much, hey, let's figure out what works for you. And she doesn't give blanket, hey, here's what everybody's got to be starting this way. Like, she's like, no, look, let's calculate your macros based on this, and that'll help us determine what it'll be, right? And but then make adjustments, like how we've learned with me, you know, having that higher fat's what I need. Well, now she's going to start offering for the first time. So she's always had a lifetime program. She is going to offer what is called Diet Destroyers Light. And with the Light program, what it is this is going to be just a short term. So instead of it being for life, she's going to do a short term setup.
Out the back.
Oh, okay.
We're fixing to go through the drive-through, so I'm gonna put these in the back.
Well, let me have a
cup
sip
holder
real quick.
because the seat cover we have in the back.
Okay.
You finished telling your little story.
Yeah. So she's offering what's called Diet Destroyers Light. So it's going to be a short amount of time. So then you can see how well it is to work with a coach, if that is something you would enjoy doing and that you would find beneficial. So it's kind of a way to get your feet wet without going all the way into the pool, right? She's going to offer that. Now with that program, it is going to have a little differences than her long term. Like, she will calculate the macros for you, so you won't learn in that program how to do it yourself, because she's going to assign the macros to you. And she has a couple other little nuances, but she's still going to be there as a coach to help you through it. And then on the plus side, if you go through the Light program and you're like, okay, I really think this is beneficial, you can then take what you paid for the Light towards her lifetime program.
Nice.
And if you look out there, most coaches don't offer a lifetime program. Like, they just offer where you buy in chunks of time, which over time can really add up. But hers, it's like life. And so, you know, get the Light. If you do sign up for the Light, you want to use the code Shelly. And if you use the code Shelly, you will get $50 off. And then plus it helps support our channel as well. Like, she'll give me a little kickback for it as well. So again, if you're interested in that, if you think that's something that would help you, and you just, you know, I can tell you, I was really unsure about getting a coach. Like, for the longest, for like the first 2 years, I was like, I don't need no coach. But I've really, really enjoyed having her as a coach. So it has really benefited me long term. And so if you feel like you're unsure if you really want to coach, I think this is a good opportunity to, you know, see if that is something that you would enjoy and find beneficial in your journey. Because invest in yourself, right?
Right.
This is a lifetime thing. So here's a way you could see how you match with Samantha, you know. I mean, I really like her. I feel like we really line up. And again, I feel like a lot of times what I like is I will see things a certain way, and she'll be like, yeah, but did you consider this over here? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess so. You're right again. And there's been times when I've been freaking crying because I was so upset about things and being like, I just want to give up. And she's like, okay, if you give up on keto, what's your alternative? Like, she flat out told me that. Yeah, if you want to do it, I'll support you. She goes, I'm your coach. I will support you in whatever you decide, but what's your alternative if you give up? And I was like, well, freaking A, there is no alternative. I just want to
vent.
Yes, I just want to whine and cry. And she was like, that's fine. So that's what I mean with keto. It's not just what you're eating. It is very much a mental game as well. Most of us, I know, have dieted in some form or another our whole lives. But we haven't got to that mental aspect. Like, why do we keep dieting? Why do we keep doing these things? Why do we have issues where we want to binge or issues when we want to just say throw in the towel. Like, let's get to that mental part of it. And that's what's really great about having a coach, is having that opportunity to really talk it through. So I'll definitely put the link to her new program down below. And just make sure you use code Shelly. That's my name, SHELLY, my name, to save $50. But that's my rant about my coach. Yeah, so
I'm really, really happy with her too. Like I said, I've listened in on several times when she's in their little meetings, and whenever she does the update calls to check in with you and everything. I think y'all's relationship's really good. She's helped you a lot. Yeah. And I just think it's a really good deal.
Well, and we're gonna try to do a like an interview with her, where she'll come on our channel, just kind of answer any questions, to describe the program in detail. So comment down below any questions you have for Samantha that you would like us to ask. So anything you're curious about, you know, any question, if you're even like, why would I get a coach? Right. Whatever your question is, comment down below now so we can get those going. And so when we talk to Samantha, we go over all those questions.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching this week. And don't forget,
every Friday night, 6:30 Central, we'll go live for the Friday night feast. Cook up an entree, maybe a couple little snacks. We'll show y'all how to do it. And then we'll spend the rest of the evening just chewing the fat with all of our friends in the Hungry Horde. Hope you can tune in sometime. We'd love to have you over for dinner. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.